Let me pitch to you guys a concept. Mario Party. A series beloved by many Nintendo fans, both casual and hardcore alike. This Mario-themed virtual board game has personally given me and my friends thousands of hilarious memories, and surely will deliver many more in the future. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a Mario Party style game, but instead of minigames, you play short matches of Super Smash Bros. Doesn't that just sound amazing in theory? Well, unfortunately, as many of you know by now, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U attempted that very concept back in 2014 with Smash Tour, and to say it didn't live up to the expectations would be one hell of an understatement. Chances are that this mode will not be returning to Smash Ultimate, considering it was universally panned by both fans and critics alike. But there's always that 1% chance that I'm dead wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. I never would have predicted that Snake would return to the roster, or that we would actually get a hazard toggle for stages. So for this monumental task, I'm going to attempt the impossible. I'm going to salvage Smash Tour and turn it into a fun game mode instead of wiping it out completely. Before we begin, however, it is imperative that we analyze what makes Mario Party so much fun in the first place. We have to know the formula of what we're trying to replicate if we want to get similar results. Otherwise, this is all just a waste of time. Everybody has their favorite Mario Party game for a variety of reasons, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to stick with the original Mario Party on the N64 for a couple of reasons. One, it has the most basic rule set, and two, while it might not be everyone's favorite per se, it is one that is consistently loved amongst Mario Party fans across the spectrum. The core rule set of Mario Party is quite simple. Players take individual turns going around the board collecting coins by landing on spaces, passing the starting point, and most importantly of all, winning minigames, which happen after every turn cycle. Players then spend their coins on stars, items, and traps. The player at the end of the game with the most stars wins. Simple. So what about this causes all of our friendships to end within minutes? Well, it comes to the devious and unpredictable nature in which players use to mess with their opponents, intentionally or not. Aside from the minigames, there are usually many other opportunities for players to grief opponents. Players can land on Bowser spaces that can lead to a number of consequences, like lowering everybody's coin count or forcing the player that landed on him into an unfair 1 vs 3 minigame. There's also Boos, which will steal a random amount of coins from any one player on the board you want, or you can pay 50 coins to have him steal a star from a player. And of course, there's the infamous chance time, where one player hits a roulette that will make two other players on the board swap either their coins or stars. Those are just 3 examples out of a handful that create tense situations for all the players. It's much like poker in the sense that there's a heavy amount of randomness factored into what you're dealt with, but there's still a degree of skill involved in determining what to do with your dealt hand, so to speak. The difference here is that unlike poker, which is a high-stakes game with real money on the line, Mario Party is entirely fake, meaning that players might not necessarily try to win, but just cause chaos, or team up and betray on a whim. This is the magic of Mario Party and why it still continues to provide so much fun nearly 20 years later. It's unpredictable. So let's do a quick recap of things to keep in mind for our Smash Tour 2.0 mode that we're building. 1. Players earn currency throughout the match to purchase MacGuffins, items to boost their stats, and traps to attack opponents. 2. The player with the most MacGuffins at the end of the match wins. 3. PvP, or player versus player, games are played after each turn cycle. They speed up the naturally slow pace of the board, but don't overstay their welcome. 4. Players can grief others through specific board spaces, sometimes map specific. And 5. There is a healthy balance of both randomness and skill involved. There's some other small aesthetic importances to keep in mind as well, but since they don't really affect gameplay, we'll go over those later when we actually start building our new mode. Now that we've thoroughly dissected the basics of Mario Party, let's dissect Smash Tour. In Smash Tour, players go around the board individually at the same time each turn. They start with 2 random fighters each and attempt to go around the board collecting additional fighters, stat boosts, and trophies. If 2 or more players collide with each other on the board, all of the players do a short battle. The player that gets first place will steal a random fighter from the player in second place. After every turn is completed, all of the players do one final battle with all of their fighters they collected during the match being used as a stock or a life. Basically, the more fighters you collect, the more times you can get knocked out of the arena. The boards themselves are far more basic than in Mario Party and are more zoomed out, meaning players always see the entirety of the board at all times. Trophies can be used both on the board and in a Smash battle as both a personal buff or an enemy trap. There are numerous problems with Smash Tour which prevent it from being as fun as Mario Party, but you probably didn't need me to tell you that. Let's go into specifics. For starters, the maps themselves are just random lazy 2D backdrops with some pathways drawn on top. Mario Party's boards always have a distinct setting with accommodating 3D features, NPC characters, and just a sense of charm that is completely lacking from Smash Tour. Being limited to playing as the Miis rather than beloved characters only adds to the lack of charm as well. The board needs to be symbiotic with the Smash battles, but they're not, and that one-sided result makes the entire match feel longer despite the fact that the turn cycles are actually much faster. Ironically enough, that's actually another big problem I have, is that the turn cycles are much too fast. Board games of this nature are meant to be played leisurely, and rushing the players through indicates that the board has nothing to offer, which to be fair is completely accurate for Smash Tour. Another thing it allows for is the accommodation of casual play. How many of you have gone to a friend's house to play a new board game before? They lay out the rules to you, but you're just not able to fully comprehend everything until you actually start playing it for yourself. That's a similar problem that Smash Tour finds itself in by rushing all the players through each cycle simultaneously. Smash Tour's rules are really not any more complex than Mario Party's, but because Mario Party walks players through each step individually, one at a time, the rules are far easier to process with ease, whereas Smash Tour expects you to absorb everything happening the second it goes. The final major problem I have is arguably the biggest, so pay especially close attention here. In Mario Party, the objective is to collect the most stars to win. This is a goal that each player works to achieve throughout the entirety of the match. The goal in Smash Tour is to just win the final match that always takes place regardless of how well you did. The goal you're working towards here is simply to improve your odds of winning that match by boosting your stats and increasing your lives through the acquisition of additional fighters. This makes the journey on the board feel nowhere near as detrimental, since your moves feel like they have little to no impact on the final outcome. In short, stars are far more satisfying to collect than additional fighters. This all culminates to the gaping wound that is Smash Tour's single biggest flaw. It's not fun to screw with other players in Smash Tour! In Mario Party, stealing someone's star or forcing someone to lose 20 coins is devilishly satisfying, because you are actively taking away their score, or at least their currency, which can potentially net them more score. Smash Tour gives you no such option. Every player has the exact same score throughout the entire match up until the final battle. Because of that, stealing a player's fighter is pretty meh in comparison. Mario Party's formula works entirely because of the joy created from screwing with other players, and taking that joy away on its own renders the rest of the mode utterly useless. Whew, that was a mouthful. Anyways, now that we've performed Smash Tour's autopsy, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Rebuilding Smash Tour from the ground up. This time taking into consideration the knowledge we've gained to make this mode an absolute blast. Yeah, that's right. We're changing the name. Straight up. The Smash Tour name has left an ugly taste in just about everyone's mouth, so it's time to rebrand. The name change, straight out of the gate, implies a drastic change in the rules which fit closer to the Mario Party formula. How much closer, you ask? Well, let's take it from the top, shall we? After selecting the board and number of turns, the players will go to a brand new screen not present in Smash Tour. The Character Select screen. Spoiler alert, players will not be collecting additional fighters on the board around this time, meaning that this allows each player to select their own character to play on the board, not just on the battlefield. Though, technically, since Miis are once again playable, it is still theoretically possible to see an entire board occupied by them. The fighter chosen is the only one you get throughout the match, so choose wisely. The goal is exactly the same as Mario Party, but Super Smash Bros. Themed. Players go around the board one at a time collecting Smash Bros. Currency and use it to purchase Smash Balls and trophies. The player with the most Smash Balls at the end of the match wins. At the end of each turn cycle, a random Smash variant and stage will be selected for the players to battle it out on, with the winner receiving a coin payout. The general rule set for all Smash types are 1 minute timed with a single stock and double damage. Remember, these are supposed to be swift like the minigames from Mario Party. Items and stage hazards are toggled on by default, however these options can be adjusted. Team Battle will be activated if half the players are standing on opposite colored spaces. So what Smash types can you expect to duke it out on? Well, you have your standard Smash, obviously, but aside from that, you also have a random assortment of special Smash types, including Invisi-Smash, Giant Smash, Flower Smash, Heavy Gravity Smash, Lightning Smash, and one of my personal favorites, Stamina Smash. But that's not all. In the event that 2 or more players are still surviving by the end of the countdown, the remaining players go into sudden death. No items, 300% damage. Trophies are one of the few contributions from Smash Tour that I enjoyed and thought provided a unique twist on the board game genre, and that you could use them both on the board and during a fight. I thought that was really cool. I'm reintroducing them into Smash Party, however this time I'm limiting them to just items. Trophies are tier-based, ranging from common to legendary in accordance to their power. Trophies can be purchased at the Smash Shop or by landing on a special trophy space found on the board. Legendary trophies can only be found on these trophy spaces and are extremely rare. Trophies can only be used once per turn and before a Smash battle, and players can carry up to 5 of them at a time in their inventory. Here are all the items you can expect to find as trophies and what their effects do on the board. I won't be listing their effects on the battlefield since they're exactly the same as when used normally. Drop this on your current space. The first player to run into it slips and loses 3 coins. Drop this on your current space. The first player to run into it disturbs an angry nest of bees, gets stung, and loses a random amount of coins as a result. Choose any opponent on the board, and the beetle will grab them and take them back to the starting point. Drop this on your current space. Every turn it will move a short amount of spaces in any direction. If you run into it, you lose 10 coins. Otherwise, it detonates after 1 turn cycle. The bomb tube follows the board path until it hits a target, resulting in a loss of 10 coins. Drop this on your current space. Any player that hits the bumper gets knocked back 4 spaces and ends their turn. It disappears after 1 turn cycle. Choose any player on the board to be frozen for an entire turn cycle. This bomb initially sticks to you upon activation, but will stick to another player if you pass them on the board. It explodes after 1 turn cycle, resulting in a loss of 10 coins. If a player has the unfortunate luck of landing on your current space, launch them into oblivion with a home run bat. They'll get KO'd and respawn at the starting point, while you'll steal 20 coins and a Smash Ball from them. The hothead travels around the track and will make any opponent it touches lose 3 coins each. Drop this item on your current space. Anybody who runs into it gets launched onto a random space on the board. Lasts for 1 turn cycle. Every opposing player is zapped by lightning. They each lose 15 coins plus all of their items. Drop this on your current space. The next opponent to walk over the spot falls into a pit and is trapped for a full turn cycle. Drop this on your current space. The next opponent to walk over the spot loses 10 coins. The player's avatar beats up the sandbag, which automatically fills all of their item slots with new trophies. If a player lands on your space, use the screw attack to launch your opponent onto a random space and steal 10 coins from them. Drop this on your current space to instantly detonate a massive explosive 3 spaces wide in each direction. Anybody caught in the blast loses 10 coins. This infamous explosive shell homes in on the player in first place, making them lose 10 coins as a result. Upon activation, you are completely invulnerable to all attacks for one full turn cycle. Activate this power-up to slow down the dice, making it easier to hit a higher number. The granddaddy of all items. Just like in a standard Smash, this item must be assembled first by uniting the 3 pieces. 2 of them must be purchased at the Smash shop and are the most expensive items, while the final piece is awarded exclusively in trophy spaces. If you manage to assemble the Exodia of legendary air ride machines, you get to select anybody on the board to instantly KO, stealing 20 coins and a Smash Ball from them in the process. Next up, let's go over the board spaces you can expect to stumble upon during your journey. This is the most common space found across the boards, and landing on it will net you 5 coins. The exact opposite of the blue coin space, landing on this will take away 5 coins. If 2 players land on a red space and 2 players land on a blue space within the same turn cycle, the following Smash battle will be a team battle rather than a free-for-all. As the name implies, the Smash Ball space on the board is where you purchase Smash Balls, which ultimately you need to win. Unlike other spaces on the board, you don't need to actually land on it, you just need to pass by it. Every time a Smash Ball is purchased, it moves to a new place on the board, just like the Star Space would in Mario Party. The Smash Shop is where players purchase trophies to use on their journey. The higher the trophy's tier, the more expensive it is to purchase. Like the Smash Ball space, the player just needs to pass it by, not land on it. However, unlike the Smash Ball space, it remains static throughout the match. Landing on one of these spaces found throughout the board will net you a free random trophy. Lower tier trophies are much more likely, whereas the higher tiers are far rarer. That's right, the Master Hand space activates Chance Time, and it works exactly like it does in Mario Party. The player that lands on this space gets to stop a roulette, which will force 2 players to either give or exchange a certain number of coins or Smash Balls to each other. Truly evil. The Crazy Hand space functions similar to the Bowser space in Mario Party, however this time with streamlined options. The player that lands on it will either be put into an unfair 1 vs 3 smash, start a Crazy Hand revolution, which takes every player's total coin count and equally redistributes it amongst everybody, or shuffles everybody's position on the board. In Mario Party, there are some minigame spaces you can land on which will put you into a solo minigame, which leads into a larger coin pad upon victory, but no coins if you lose. For the Smash equivalent of this, the obvious choice to go with is the Stadium space, which puts the player into a random stadium event where they must achieve a high score in a short amount of time. And these are the events you can expect to pop up.
Home Run Contest. Target Blast.
Break the targets. Race to the finish.
Board the platforms.
Hey, it is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate after all, so why not bring them all back? And side note, these should totally be playable solo as well, especially board the platforms. Come on, it's been almost 20 years now. So there you go, this is the rough rule set which I've concocted for Smash Party. After the winner is selected at the end of the Smash Party match, every player's total currency is added to the main account currently logged into Smash Ultimate, with all of the other currency they earned throughout the game's separate modes. However, there's one last finishing touch to put on this mode, so let's go over it. Now, this is of course assuming Smash Ultimate finally has a competent online structure for once. But if so, Smash Party is going to be great for long-form online play. Personally, I wouldn't play it online a lot just because, for me, that social interaction is crucial for me in the virtual board game genre, but I know a lot of Nintendo fans would go nuts over this kind of thing, as online play is one of the most requested features for Mario Party. So, I say, do it. Implementing a mode of this scale is nearly impossible in Smash's typical development cycle without making some sacrifices in other departments, be it characters, stages, single-player modes, mechanics, or just general polish. Personally, as cool as I think this mode would be, I also don't think it's worth sacrificing any of those other categories mentioned. So, what do we do about that? Well, What if I told you that we can in fact have our cake and eat it too? While it would be impossible for Sakurai and his team to single-handedly put in all of the content we already expect along with this greatly ambitious board game, it wouldn't be out of the question for his team to develop the main game while a separate team handled the Smash Party mode. This is quite common in many modern AAA video games, where you'll have one team work on the single player and another team, or even a different studio altogether sometimes, work on the multiplayer. This same mentality can be applied to the development of Smash Party, and I have just the studio in mind. NDQ. Wait, just let me explain myself. Now, if you asked me a couple months ago who I would want to handle a reboot of Smash Tour, NDQ would be far from my top choice, as many of their Mario Party titles have been just as, if not more, disappointing than Smash Tour. However, with the upcoming Super Mario Party that was recently revealed, it looks like they finally learned from all of their mistakes, and for the first time in nearly a decade, I'm actually genuinely excited for a new Mario Party. It may have taken more than a few tries to get them to this point, but with that kind of raw commitment to improve themselves, I do in fact think that they have what it takes to build Smash Party. As for conflicting schedules, I don't think that's going to be an issue. NDCube has a large enough staff to work on multiple projects simultaneously. In fact, since 2015 they've released at least one game a year consistently, and unless Super Mario Party gets delayed, that trend will continue this year. Not to mention, this is a mode we're talking about, not a $60 content-filled video game. And on top of that, they would only need to develop the actual board game aspects, since the Smash battles and stadium events would just need to be ported in from Sakurai's side of development. Wow, that was a mouthful. But we did it. If you made it to the end of this video, I can't thank you enough. This was an idea I've had ever since Smash Tour was first introduced nearly 4 years ago. I really didn't start planning this video until a few days after the Smash Ultimate reveal though. It's taken what seems like ages to bring this video to life, and I hope you all enjoyed watching it as much as I had making it. Let me know how you would like to see Smash Tour change, or whether or not you even want to see it again in the comments. As always, stay tuned for more hype Smash Ultimate content in the future. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you hated the video, subscribe to my channel. And no matter what, I'll see you all next mission.